G'day guys and welcome back to the JFBS SuperCoach channel. And today what we're going to go through is the midweek footy convo from going from round 3 going into round 4 in AFL SuperCoach. If you haven't checked out my round 3 review, go check that out. I talk about my player scores, how I went, how much I went up by. Spoilers, about 40,000 ranks, so very good. But today we're going to be doing more in depth of the topics I'd like to talk about, but probably wouldn't have enough time to. So let's go and get started. Most traded ins and outs. So obviously everyone knows. I don't know how many people brought in Cherry. So very annoying for people like me who have to get rid of him because he's out for 3 weeks for wiping his bloody nose on merit. So isn't that great? So it's probably time to move on from him. It is so difficult to try and get. I think this might be the first year where we can't get a full team of primos because they just get injured or they do dumb shit like Cherry does. Darcy Parish, he's second. Yeah, look, he's kind of dried up on his cash. 2 back-to-back 6-7s. Funny. Started off solidly. I'm glad I didn't bring him in because I was really close to. Petrarca people still haven't got rid of. I probably want to get rid of him now, but I reckon by the time round 5 rolls around, you might as well just keep him because, you know, you've kept him for that long. Dyson Sharp, a few people get rid of him. I still have him. He's still a test, so I'll just keep him for now. Jack Carroll, he's made 61K. He's still got a break even of 23. It'll be interesting to see how he goes after the bye because these are 2 really disappointing scores. I'd love to get rid of him personally. Stephen Canelio, don't think he scored that well if he went down 4.7. A 43. So he's got that 43 in his system now. It's going to be a lot harder for him to make cash. Lucky Blackiston. I can't believe I'm saying this, but he is safe for another round with me. I can't get rid of him because people like Cherry do dumb shit. I am complaining. Sorry. I brought him in. He's doing the most average score of all time. He's got the dogs this week. Put your VC on English. Very annoying. Hayden Young, people still haven't got rid of him yet. He's expected to be around 5 to 6 now. So a bit longer of an injury than we thought. So good on to the people that have got rid of him already. Leo Lombard, interesting that people are getting rid of him now. They should have got rid of him last week when he was on his bye because maybe he doesn't play. As a guy to get rid of. And Caleb Windsor as well, another guy to get rid of. I feel like he just needs one spike game. He hasn't had it yet. 70, 53, 70. Look, if I had him, I'd wait till Essendon. And if he doesn't score above an 85, just get him off the team. So, yeah, a bit disappointing there with Windsor if you went with him. Let's go with the most traded ins. Marcus Bontempelli, 12.8% of the league are going with him. Makes sense. He's got Essendon this week. I think he's the only guy that you pay up 620K plus for in this mode. Unless maybe Nick Dacos as well, but still, Bont is Bont. He's going to even make money. Can you believe that? His past 2 matchups against Essendon, 169, 140. And then Hawthorn, 101, 142, 122, 107, 122, 141 against Geelong. Like, these are just insane scores. He does go against Sydney, so maybe a bit of a dip there. But still has Freo, Port, Carlton, Melbourne. That's a pretty nice run there. Hopefully he doesn't get the Tholstrup tag, but I feel like Tholstrup will have a hard time tagging Bont. Oscar Steen, he had a good game. Good first game for Collingwood. I had an 83. I'm going to hold off. Wait for next week. If he scores well again, we go for him. It's nice that we can finally get a forward as well to make some money. And the defenders are pretty tough to come by as well. I'll be looking at him next week. Maybe we trade Kalani White. That could be a bit of a waste, but look, I don't really care. Jack Lukosius, 3rd most traded in. Makes sense. He scores 2. I think it was 2 tons, was it? 110, 195. To be fair, they're back-to-back bad opponents. To be fair, they did lose to West Coast though, but goes up against Richmond, which I can definitely see him dominate. So, but is he going to keep that up for another 3 or 4 weeks? Like, you kind of want him to get him to around 400K to hop off him. Max Gawn, fourth most trade in. Makes kind of sense when you're swapping Cherry to him. He's kind of the most expensive alternative. I'd probably look somewhere else if you're looking for another primo ruck. I guess we can look into that, I guess. But to be fair, he does have Gold Coast and Essendon, Brisbane, and a Nankless Richmond. So, I mean, yeah, do you know what? He's actually got a good run. Why are people bringing this guy in? He's played two bad opponents, 142, 130. He's gone up against Adelaide. He's gone up against Collingwood. Sure, he might do it against the West Coast, but I don't see him doing this. So good. Fair enough to the guys that got onto him last week. Very nice, but not for me. Max Holmes, talked about it yesterday's video, how I was very pleased with his score. He was my one non-F up, so that was good. He's got Hawthorn this week, West Coast the week after. It's a pretty nice run. He has Port, North. Yeah, he's got West Coast, Port, and North in his next 5. Does come up against a pretty tough team here. Why can't I scroll down? Is it because yeah. Okay. Oh, look at that run home for Geelong. Richmond, North, Essendon, Collingwood, Melbourne, St Kilda. Gee whiz. Time to get Baz during that time as well, you'd think. Next up is Nick Dacos. Makes sense. If you don't have him, get him. Goes up against Brisbane. He has scored well against them in the past. Goes up against Freo and Carlton. We know he loves to play against as well. 150 against GWS was splendid. There's no like consistent like 2 or 3 weeks, I guess, that we would like. Maybe Melbourne, Port, Richmond. Then you got North Melbourne 2 weeks later, so he might get the Foz tag. He's been pretty decent with his tagging. Did well on merit. Tom Stewart, he's kind of re-emerging to become another primo defender, and we don't really have many of them at the moment. It's great to see that he's kind of back to his best in a way. Do I see it happening the whole time? Potentially, but I'm not going to take that risk. For you that want to do it, good luck to you. The world is yours. But it's not for me, and it hopefully pays off for you guys. Will Dersma. I mean, look, realistically, we should have hopped on him. We probably could have not gone with a Blackiston, save 80k, bring in Dersma. Or same with Hayden Young. You save 180k or 190k, have Dersma, and he's averaging really well. So for me, that doesn't have him, and I would recommend this to people that don't have him either. I just wouldn't bring him in because he's made his one price rise. He's at 240. He's at 270k. Bit of an awkward price. Look, I'm just not going to go with that route. He's played some pretty easy matchups as well. Not that that should be taken into account. He's got Sydney this week, then Geelong, then Freo. So just remember that with Willem. Hopefully he does well, though. And Tim English is the last one. I would probably say this is your number one guy to bring in this week if you're trading Cherry, except for me because I already have English. But yeah, very solid scores. He's got Essendon, Blackiston. He'll kill him. Hawthorn, they've given up some big scores, and Geelong don't really have a ruck. So he's got a good few weeks up ahead, and I'm pretty intrigued what he can do. All right. Why is this? I feel like this was even more. Is there a way to zoom? Yeah, there we go. That might be a bit better. Or do we do one more? Sorry, technical difficulties. It's kind of zoomed in now. I don't like it. All right. I've got to stop playing around with this. There we go. That's a bit better. So that was the most traded ins and outs. I have not done this well. We talked about that last week. Let's go to the homepage and see the team injury reports here. A bit better than last week. So yeah, Dawson's a test this week. Same with Rory Laird. But I heard that Josh Worrell pulled up today. Not great, and he might miss a week. So tough luck for those that have him. Brisbane, geez, I've got quite a bit of a list, but not really anyone that's a bit flash. I mean, Hugh McCluggage, obviously, he'll be great to bring in. He'll be the 7th or 8th midfielder I bring, which would be nice. Anyone else? Darcy Gardner's shoulder, 8 to 12 weeks. Is this Zach Ostelski's time to shine? Hopefully it is. Carlton, very small. Harry Dean. Cooper Lord, he's had a really tough week with that illness. Dean's missing 2 weeks. That's pretty tough as well if you have him. Collingwood, not many there. Obviously, got Pendlebury and Moore still out for another 3 to 4 weeks. Is he still out, or I thought he played? Essendon, Caddy out for a week. Not that I think people would. He's not very SuperCoach relevant. That's about it. Maybe Braden Fiorini, but he's a test. Hayden Young still out 1 to 2 weeks. Not ideal, but what can you do? Geelong. Danger's out for a bit. Tyson Stengel as well. Not really anyone there. Petrarca still 1 to 3 weeks. I really hope it's not 1 week, and then it kind of feels like a waste. Hugo Hagen's done his knee. I didn't know that. And Rouse a test, which is really intriguing. Bailey Humphrey, round 6. So if you have him, get rid of him. Giants. Buckley out for a week. Daniels is a test. No one really else there. Will Day's out for another 2 months. Oh, goodness me. Melbourne. Excuse me. I thought Paddy Cross played, and he's already unlucky guy. North. Cherry. He's expected to come back round 7. It's round 4 this week. Goodness gracious me. Miles Bergman is a test, which is nice. Todd Marshall. Fortunately, got the injury update of he might be 1 to 2 weeks after not playing this week. So amazing. Maybe they shouldn't have played him in the first place, and he'd be okay. Connor Rozee still to be confirmed, but it's at least 3 or 4 months. We might not even see him for the rest of the season. That might be a bit of a stretch, but you might get what I mean. Oh, Richmond. Alga Armstrong did 8 weeks. That's amazing. On the weekend. Sam Cummings a test. He'll be interesting if he gets named, but at this rate, I'm willing to keep him on the out of the side for 2 weeks, knowing our bloody system here of injuries. Lynch and Nank are out still for a while. St Kilda. Anyone else? Yeah, of course. This prick here, Lance Collard, can't learn from his mistakes. Jack McRae's 1 week, so I guess Carroll. He's got the bye this week. His injury, I guess he could be a bit worrying. Sydney. Anyone else? Billy Cootie he's got a test. Errol Gordon's 3 to 4 months. That's horrible. And Isaac Henny's a test, which is big. West Coast. Sam Allen. It's Bo Allen that they have that's made some money. Murdoch, 3 weeks. Newton to be confirmed. And Dev Robb suspended next round, which is annoying. Just another cluster stuff. And lucky last, Dogs. No one really there for injuries. Let's have a look at break-evens, shall we? Look, we're going to say this for the next few weeks. Milan Murdoch, bring him in when he's available. Jakey Rogers at a -60. We'll see if he gets named and we'll see if Lombard gets out of the picture as well. Chase Jones with a -53, looking very nice. Expect to make 40K, but that's probably a score of 40. But mind you, he did score a 38, so he might slow up a bit more than you'd like. Ned Reeves with a -46, potentially might make 48K. 290 is not too bad. Christopher Skerry or Sherry, -45, expected to make about 50K, 34. I don't know. He did score a 31, which puts me off a bit. Logan McDonald's still just killing it, I guess. And Hugh Bond, he's the one that had a 30 and I think an 80. Or do you have just 2 good games? He had a 50. So, yeah, I'd probably rather Hugh Bond over Chase Jones because he'll make his money more, quicker. Steen -34, be one to look out for. Will Dersman -33, very nice. Will Brodie, he'll be a guy to look out for next week. Now that Rosie's out, could he keep his spot? But to be fair, he actually did an okay score, and I think he only had 50% game time. So Not too bad from him. Schellenberg -10, but did score a 59, which is a bit annoying. Mitch Edwards, if you brought him in, probably not the best, but oh well, what can you do? Anyone else? You've got Selwood and Sarong with -2. Anyone else? I'm going to go out on a limb and say not really. Sammy Grill has a 12. Yeah, scored a 68. It's not terrible. Kadeem Coleman with a 7. I know he scored well, but geez, could be an option this week for you maybe. But yeah, 265k with a price rise. I'm not sure. Is he going to do this every week? It was against St Kilda. I don't know, and I don't think so. I'm not joking when I say this. I'm looking at Charlie Ballard. He scored a 72, which is okay. He's got Melbourne, Sydney, Essendon. So nice 3-game run there. Can he be what he did years ago, I guess? What was the career stats, SuperCoach? Well, this would be technically his highest averaging season, but, you know, he could make up to about 220k. Oh, well, no, if it's more, I'm slow. I think that's about it. Jacob Farrow, he's another guy to look out for, and he's a defender mid, and we are really scraping the bottom of the barrel for those guys. But yeah, that's the good break-ins. The bad ones, this is nice. And not nice if you have him, which I don't think many would, but 34, that's going to be in his next 2 weeks, this week and next week. He goes down to 450k. He's another guy, a primo to have, which is very nice. Rory Laird potentially is a guy to bring in if he is healthy. Same with Dawson with high break evens. Jesus, Rowan Marshall lost 84.7k. Ed Richards 168 is pretty decent. Lockie Neal, I thought he had a decent couple of weeks. 123.92 and a 73 isn't that great. Could be a nice pod, but is he going to be in the top 8? I'm not sure. Merritt, Mac Zerrett, after an okay, solid first 2 weeks, 87 against North. To be fair, with 10 disposals, not even that bad. I would be rage trading him out personally. Is there anyone else that's really relevant? Luke Jackson, really a 140. Okay. Maybe he's a guy to look out for. I'm not too sure. I feel like a 142, 113. I feel like a 121 average wouldn't lose you money, but that's okay. And I don't think there's really anyone else. My favourite, Tristan Cherry. Those are the break-evens. Now let's have a look at who I'm thinking of looking at. So these are my trades at the moment. I'm burning another boost, I know. So I'm bringing in Lukosius, Bont, and Lindsay. Out is Fonte, Cherry, and Dolliston. Yeah, that's the current squad. That's been optimized. Okay, I think I'd rather that. I know it's nothing, but geez. Looking a bit thin in the back line, always is in the forward line. I've got 11 primos, which is really bad, and planned is I'm keeping for the whole year. Maybe Deb Robertson as well, but Jesus, it is slim pickings, I'll be honest. I don't even want to. Let's just reverse them. Let's get you out. Let's swap you. Swap you. I don't have enough for old mate, but that's okay. We'll just have him there now. 19k. So who would we go get out? Love it to be Doveston, but there's not really anyone that I want to. I feel like Fonte. I think Fonte is the right decision to make, but it's who am I bringing in, and I can't get rid of anyone. So I'm going to look at break evens here. Look, it's Josh Lindsay with a -59. I don't really want to burn a boost because this is the thing. Yeah, if I keep this 219 and I trade Blackiston 520. Trade him up to Whitfield. That'll be my first upgrade, which would be really nice. With obviously another trade. Maybe I boost next week because I think I like next week's rookies more than this week's. Because like I said, if we go to break evens, look, we miss out on Jack Lukosius. We miss out on Jake Rogers. We'll miss out on Jones, but I wasn't interested in him. Zach Ostelsky might play. Not a horrible idea because he's got that defender ruck DPP. Chris Skerry or Cherry, I mean, I liked him at first, but with a 31, I don't like bringing in guys with a bad second score because it will slow down. But for next week, you've got Oscar Steen, you've got Will Brodie, you've got Jacob Farrow, and that will definitely help in the back line because, I mean, yeah, look, Sarong, this might be his last week. I don't want to say it is, but he's just kind of slowed up in cash, I'll be honest. So I think I want to make the 2. And it's a little bit bad. I don't know. I think 2's fine. I don't want to burn all my boosts yet. I feel like I've got to save them. So we'll keep it like that. Let's optimize it. 1856. Feel like that's not terrible. We'll swap that. We have one buy there, one suspension. So we've got, it is still best 18, thank God. How could we orchestrate this? I mean, I just still have Dodison, which I hate. So maybe do I actually prioritize this round and just do 2 next round and go Whitfield up and go, sorry, Blackerson up to Whitfield and someone else down to a rookie. Cool. This will be better. So Steen, I'm thinking of bringing in next week. Maybe it's a Dobson down to him. Brodie, I would like to think I'd bring him in. So there's 2 guys. Anyone else that I'm thinking of? Maybe Ballard. Farrow, if he scores better, that would be amazing. That's really it. There's 4 there, and then for this week, the Koshis I like. Rogers, it's not that I don't like, but he was out of the squad in the first couple rounds, and I don't know how he's going to go on the next 2. He's got Melbourne, Sydney, Essendon's, and not a horrible schedule. Zach Ostelsky, I'm going to pass because I felt like I should have started him. But that's okay, but he wouldn't have made his money. Ned Reeves, I actually don't mind. 64, if he scores an 80, okay, the projector thing is not working. This is the clear example I said last week how to use projector. If it's not working, just refresh your page and it should pop up again. If it doesn't, then it hates me. Cool. If he just goes 80s, he makes 50K, 41K, well, no, 50K, 100K in 3 weeks. I don't know if I don't know. Is 100K in 3 weeks like being too harsh? Anyways, -3. Let's go break evens again. Still looking for 2 guys that are playing 2. Sherry, no. Bonds, I like him more because you look at an average score first round, second round better. If he scores 65, still gets 2 minus break evens. That's about what 100K in 3 weeks as well. Don't know. And there's not really anyone else. So it's Hugh Bond. So maybe I'll do next week, hey? Maybe that's where I kind of pounce because Potions I like, Rogers maybe, Chase Jones no, no to Zakastelski, no to Sherry, half yes to Reeves. I guess I'll no, I'll say yes to Bond, and that's it. Yeah, look, I think that's what I'm going to do. Whereas next week I like Farrow, I like Ballard. I don't think I'll go down to him, but who knows? Schellenberg, I guess. Brody, yes. Steen, yes. Steen would be handy. Another forward ruck combo, and that could easily move around Kalani Whites as well, just in case like someone gets an injury or something like that. For only a week. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So, I mean, we can do a notepad here. This week, Cherry to Bont. And I've already forgotten who else we did. Fonty to Lindsay. Fonty to Lindsay. Lindsay. Cool. Lindsay R. Okay. Next, and then I've got 219, 400 left. I move on Blackiston. Oh God, I can't speak. I can't type. Whitfield, that'll give me about minus 20k, which is fine. Then I have my fourth primo there. So I only need two primos in the back line and midfield because I'm liking my midfield at the moment with Bont, Butters, Dacos, Holmes, Brayshaw, Walsh. I saw on Twitter people were like not liking Walsh as much. I don't mind him. I think he'll keep at this rate. He's staying on the team with all these injuries. So then, who does it leave me with? Do I get rid of the Doverston to Steen? And then I'm thinking boost options. We go. I'm saying, oh, it doesn't matter because Farrow is a midfielder. I'm thinking, okay, it's one of the two of Carroll, Sharp, if I have money because Farrow's more expensive, and Sarong. That's who I'm thinking. I can obviously move up forward. So if I wanted a forward option, another forward option is what I'm trying to say. Not really anyone. I do kind of want to bring in Lukosius, but nah. I think this is okay. I think because that'll be minus 20k. That'll be about break even, and then I'll probably have I'll just say 50k in bank, which isn't too bad. And then I've got 4 primos there, 6 primos there, 1 primo there, 1 primo there. And then I probably want to Ned Reeves, I guess, would be a good if he can get to 400k, it's not terrible to get him up with another rookie that's dried up in cash and get my second primo ruck and then be done with that because I think I should have just done set and forget. I mean, no shit, but hell, like Cherry gone, just absolute like the biggest waste trade. We only got 33, and I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 1 in every 3 trades needs to be a primo. Amazing. All right. And then I think the last one I'm doing is captain. So your captain options for this week, we'll do a bit of a rundown. So Brisbane, Collingwood, interesting. It's $1.40 to 3. Interesting. Okay. Dacos, you could VC, but who knows? They might tag him. Brisbane, I don't really think anyone else there. North, Carlton. If you want to go pod, maybe Walsh, but I think he might get the Foz tag. No one really at North. Maybe Sheasel. Can't be Cherry. Adelaide, Freo, maybe Brayshaw, Richmond, Port. That's where you VC Butters, I reckon. And then Sydney, West Coast. If Gordon or Heaney is playing, that would be a nice pod option as well. Melbourne, Gold Coast, not really anyone, but then Dogs, Essendon, you've got 2 choices in Bont or English. I'm going to go Bont. And then Hawthorn, Geelong, yeah, who knows. It's good that the last game's on Monday, so, I could just record right after the game and, be on my merry way. But I think, yeah, after reconsidering what I want to do, this is probably better for me. Save a trade instead of getting rid of Doveston to someone else. He can make his like 10K, 9.9K that he's expected to. If he gets a spike game, that'd be amazing. But look, if he's putting up a 45 and 33 against the Eagles and Essendon, it's not really much there. But what I'm probably going to do is going to VC Butters and then captain into Bontempelli. Yep, we'll just do that. Hey, but yeah, that's going to do it for me. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed that. Let me know what your plans are for the week. There's still a day and a half to consider what you want to do. But yeah, let me know anything about anything. What are your trades? What are your trades looking like this week? Are you already thought about next week? Are you using a boost? We'll see how the week pans out. But yeah, I feel like an 18.45 isn't too great with two teams on the bye. But with Naz Sinclair, Whitfield, what's his face, Ash might be similar with a few guys. But then you got Dev Robertson who's out for a week with a suspension. Flanders as well, another guy. Marshall's out. Phillip who's in. Marshall's injured. Phillip who's on the bye. I got one, two. Yeah, two guys aren't playing. It'd be great if I could have Lindsay on, but that's all good. You can't get everything in life, but that's okay. Anyways, that's going to do it for me. Hopefully you guys have a good one, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.